Hey, what's good, y'all? Lynx here. We're going to get into a couple of things today. Going to keep my word on some of the things we're due. Sorry for the technical difficulty in the middle of the up all night stream. My internet started glitching out, kind of like how it's glitching out right now. What the hell is going on? I don't know why it's doing this. Like right now it's working, but like I just seen the frame rate thing go up. So Hopefully that doesn't become an ongoing issue. Otherwise, my internet carrier is gonna have to hear from me. Yo, what's good, Infinite? What's good? How are you? Hope all is well. But yeah, we're gonna get into. Hold on. We're gonna get into the new game ranks video. Wait, why do I hear something in the back? Oh. Okay. I'm making sure I'm not hearing anything in the back. All right, anyway. Okay, so as I was saying before. Oh, thank you. I usually use this opening once in a while. I was like, I haven't used this overlay in a while, so I was like, let me start bringing it back. I got like other ones, but those are more like seasonal ones. There's kind of a seasonal one too, but it's America. You can use America whenever you want, you know? Yo, Green, what's good? How are you? Hope you're doing well. Hello. The date and the title is wrong. I know I started it incorrect. If you refresh the page, it should be correct. You have to refresh it on your end. Let me make sure though. Let me double check. Because I did realize I had the date wrong. Yeah, it's showing right. You just got to refresh your page. It'll come up correctly. Yeah, see, it's 2/15. I did have the wrong date initially though, but I corrected it, so it should be right on all platforms. If it still says 2/14, just refresh. We're gonna do a new game ranks video. We're gonna do Bazooka. What is it? Johnny Bazooka Tone. We're gonna do that for like an hour or so, and then we're going to go into Simpsons Hit and Run. So, I don't know what to tell you, Infinite, about it saying the 14th. It said the 15th on my end, and I'm looking like, okay, all right. So we're doing game ranks, Johnny Bazooka Tone, and I was looking at something. I got distracted. Simpsons. That's what we're getting into. Okay. All right. Let me do this thing down here first. Let me fix this up. And we're gonna try to do another up all night stream again. No promises. But that is what we're aiming for. I should have had all this ready. That's on me. Game Ranks is just basically, it's a channel on YouTube where they just give us like the gaming news of the week. I usually use it. I play it like once a week to catch up on whatever I missed out on, because usually I miss out on a lot of stuff due to work. So that's basically what it is. All right, hold on. Let me set it up though.
Hey folks, today is Friday, February 14th, 2025.
Hey, it's
usual,
Baldino.
I'm Jake Baldino, here to talk about all the gaming news that has been going on this week. Happy Valentine's Day if you love someone or whatever.
No,
but we got a lot of gaming news to talk about. It's been a busy week in the gaming industry world. The first thing is something, it's actually catching up a little bit from last week. It flew under the radar, but I wanted to dive into it because it's a weird rumor.
I should start doing some more recorded stuff in general.
This comes
but I
from
just don't have
somebody
time.
posting on social media at Daniel Olamak. This is Daniel Camillo. He is an analyst. He's also wrote.
Wait, hold on. Some games that will be revealed announced this year. Tomb Raider, new AAA main title. We get another Ramba? Oh, y'all don't know. So maybe 2 years ago for Women's History Month, I did the entire Tomb Raider remake trilogy. We renamed her. We stopped calling her Lara Croft. It was just Ramba, like Rambo, but as a woman. And just went around just the one just massive kills everybody or whatever. I will say the first one in 2013 still holds up, still a really good game. Second one was, it was good, just not as good as the first. And then the third one was just, I'm kind of over it now. They kind of like lost the plot after the third one. Fire Emblem Remake, is that a remake or a remaster? How do you remake Fire Emblem? Nier Automata sequel, Castlevania AAA game, EA FC 16. Different reliable sources, fairly confident. I can't go off of fairly confident. Like I need you to, I need you to remove all like plausible deniability. Like you're either going to be right about this, or you're going to be wrong.
For gamesindustry.biz, a very legit website, and he suggested on social media that these select games are going to be revealed or announced this year, citing his own sources. A new Tomb Raider, a Fire Emblem remake, a Nier Automata sequel, a big Castlevania game, and EA Football Club 26.
I still haven't played Nier Automata yet.
It's an annual series, but this is interesting. Now look, take this with a grain of salt. It's one person saying this, but it's someone who clearly works in the industry. I don't know why they would come out and leak this stuff, but if it is true, it's interesting. On the one hand, Tomb Raider.
Hello, Amy. How are you?
We can see that coming. We know that they've been cooking
football
on
as
Tomb
well.
Raider something for a while. It's just whether or not it's like another reboot or an old return to form, who knows? The Fire Emblem remake is interesting. I think people can make a guess of which Fire Emblem games are the ones most likely to be remade. A Nier Automata sequel, it's kind of funny when you
I guess
say
it's going to be like a modern one of the original one, like maybe one of the Game Boy Advance ones.
Nier game is actually something I didn't
wouldn't mind seeing that.
That actually took me
like the one with Lynn on it.
Again, these are all just like rumors or
Sacred Stones.
We don't know for sure. But that's something that I would like to see.
I play a lot of Fire
and then
Emblem.
The other one, Castlevania, a AAA Castlevania game, is something I did expect. I feel like we've all heard rumblings about that.
I play a lot of different games, not too sure what a lot of those are.
AAA market. And with Castlevania,
I do know
such
these.
a big brand for them, it's really only a matter of time before they decide to make.
Well, if they're doing a AAA Castlevania game, it wouldn't look like this. This is oh my goodness, this is the one that's Soma. It's the Game Boy Advance one. I just don't remember which one. This week's Tomorrow's Teaching was crap. They need some new actors. I'm going to be watching it tomorrow. So I'm going over Tomorrow Teachings tomorrow. Because I feel like I'm behind schedule. So I was like, I have to save that one for tomorrow. So. But Dan, you said it's crap. I'm still going to watch it though. Thank you for the check-ins. Also, hope you're doing well, Catitude. Hope you're staying cool over there. It's snowing and stuff here. But this is an old Castlevania. I don't know what the last AAA one they did was like Lords of Shadow. So I don't know how that's gonna go. Lords of Shadow was basically like God of War, but Castlevania's theme. That's basically what it was. I was violently ill Friday morning. Oh, that's
really
unfortunate.
Capitalize on that IP. So yeah, I think these are.
Damn. Did you take any medicine? I hope you're feeling better now.
Actual true leaks from inside sources or just really smart guesses. Either way, I expect to see some of this, but I definitely want to know what you guys think. What do you expect from a new Tomb Raider game in 2025? What do you want from a Castlevania?
The same as we got before.
Nier. What could a new Nier game be like? There's definitely
keep it more like
the
2013 version, and less like the 2018 version. I want to know how
you guys are feeling on this. Another big bit of news. This one's kind of a bummer. Is that
damn.
Crysis 4 is on hold. Crysis 4 was announced quite a few years
ago. That's the worst. I've had that before.
It seems like Crytek
I had like
really
Peru lima beans that messed my stomach up real bad.
Sometimes that's why games are announced.
Pepto-Bismol didn't help.
But here, this is a disappointment.
I hope you get well soon.
Crysis 4 is on hold because the studio, Crytek, has been hit by layoffs. According to Eurogamer, they're losing about an estimated 15% of its 400 employees. That's around 60 people. In this statement, they had announced that they had actually put the Crysis game on hold in Q3 2020.
Hold on. As soon as you said that, it reminded me of the South Park thing with Stan's dad, where he was over the toilet. He's like, "Urgh." Then he turned around and go, "Ah," and then go, "Urgh." Was it like that? Where he kept spinning around and just going back and forth.
to shift their focus on the Hunt Showdown.
Not eating as much.
It's been a long time.
Or making sure they
Crisis 3,
cook
and
it
at this
properly.
Point, it does feel a little bit more of like a forgotten franchise, at least to the mainstream audiences. Like, I don't expect a Crisis nano suit to like show up in Fortnite or anything like that. But, you know, again, unfortunate to see that this is happening. Hopefully we do see Crisis at some point in the future, but for now, it's on ice. In some interesting business type news, we have been talking a lot about how console sales are slowing down. Whether it's
I'm trying to avoid
games
getting
not
sick.
exciting enough for people to
The
run
Eagles
out and buy these
parade was
consoles,
here
or,
yesterday.
You know, these consoles really
I
just
was in the
reaching
thick
their
of it.
peak with finding
I took some
people.
Dayquil just to be on the safe side.
In an interview with
So,
IGN,
we'll see
had
how
some
things go.
interesting quotes about Grand Theft Auto 6.
I'm starting to get a scratchy
possibly
throat, though.
contributing to
There
the
is that.
increase in sales of PlayStation 5 and Xboxes. He said, and I quote, "When you have a big title in the market, and we have many of them coming, historically, that has sold consoles. And I think that will happen this year. I don't think tariffs are going to be our friend, but I think there will be a meaningful uptick in console sales in calendar 25 because of the release schedule." He does also, like, I guess he's being not just about Grand Theft Auto 6. He does say not just coming from us, but coming from others. So that's interesting, but more interesting, he did say, "I think the trend that you'd want to focus on is this increasing share of the market that is reflected in PC." He went on talking about how, yes, they historically release Grand Theft Auto on consoles and then later on PC. And, you know, he's still kind of playing coy with how they do that. Rockstar is going to do it how they're going to do it. But he does double down on saying, "We have seen PC become a much, much more important part of what used to be a console business. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that trend continue." So it's just interesting to hear like the big higher ups, the big corporate bigwigs also having their eyes on the PC market, which does still at this point feel like it's really been flourishing the last couple of years. Will that mean we'll see GTA 6 on PC sooner? You know, usually the gap is pretty big. I don't know for sure. I can't predict the future, but I just wanted to provide you guys with that. If you want to read the whole interview, everything I talk about, all the sources and stuff are going to be linked in the description. Hey, next up, this video is sponsored by Saley. Saley is a new eSIM service brought to you by
Oh, they got a new
You know, the
sponsor.
people behind NordVPN, who we talk about all the time. Well, this is interesting. Saley offers affordable eSIM plans and a handy-dandy app from a variety of different regions and countries. Look, if you've ever been abroad or you needed an internet connection really badly with no Wi-Fi hotspot in sight, you know the difference a local SIM card can make. And with eSIMs, it's easier than ever. And Saley helps you essentially unlock this. With one download, an eSIM provides an internet connection wherever you travel and just saves you money.
Yeah,
on
just so you know,
fees. 'Cause when
for
you're
anybody that's
traveling,
coming
those
in,
fees can add up. Trust me.
after this,
I've
we're
had a
doing
very high bill I've
Joey
had to deal with
Bazooka Tone
before you
for
go on
the
a trip, or you know
PS1,
you're gonna need it, make
and
sure
then
you
we're
have the
doing
Saley
Simpsons.
app.
We're
You
gonna do
can
that for
very
about an
easily
hour or
browse
so,
plans. Let's
and then
go
we're
with a
jumping
5
into
gigabyte plan here.
Simpsons Hit and
Our
Run.
coupon code right here, you put it in, game ranks for an exclusive 15% off discount. Then you activate the eSIM, it takes a second, and you're good to go. That's really it. You can get an exclusive 15% discount on Saley eSIM data plans today. You can get an exclusive 15% discount on
I'm mad there's
Saley
no
eSIM data
achievements or
plans
anything
today.
for
All you gotta
either
do is head
Johnny
to
Bazooka Tone, whether it be the Saturn or the PS1.
Saley.com/GameRanks.
But
Download the Saley app, get started, and
Whatever.
then at checkout, use code GameRanks for that 15% off. Again, that's Saley.com.
We do got 'em for Simpsons,
GameRanks,
though.
and use code GameRanks for 15% off. And big thanks to Saley for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to it. Next up, some cool little snippets from some independent media, which I think is cool. Like not just big scoops by IGN or Variety or whatever, but independent media. Kind of Funny got the scoop on Ted Price from Insomniac, where he said that at one point they pitched a new Resistance game, Resistance 4, to Sony. But unfortunately, it was
I haven't
turned
played
down.
none of the
Along with that,
Resistance
if you're looking
games.
for another one in the PlayStation world, the guys over at MinMax were able to interview people from Ready at Dawn, the studio behind a lot of things, but one of my personal favorites, I've been shilling for this game for years, the Order 1886. Apparently, they had a full pitch for a bigger, badder sequel, but Sony turned it down due to the critical reception and stuff like that, which is not surprising. Obviously, that game did not really bode well for them, but still to know that it could have
No,
existed
it looked
and the
really
fact that they
pretty,
wanted
but
to
it
really
was like a
make
nothing
things
game.
right
It was
and
just
really
quick time
prove
events
that
and
franchise,
mediocre
I would have liked to see it. But yeah, Resistance
shooting.
4 and Order 1887 are
So
things that are just dust in the wind now. Now, next up, speaking of Sony, which we were talking about, there was a state of play this week. In case you missed it, we did do a whole video.
we did a
breaking
state
down
of we
all
did the state
news,
of
but if you
play
don't have time for that
on
whole video,
Thursday.
just some of the small
We
snippets,
broke it all
some stuff
down.
that I really liked. It was a state of play, really not focused around these big massive heavy hitter first party studio stuff, much to the disappointment of some people. It was, more third party games, but I thought there was stuff that was still interesting, including Borderlands 4 having some gameplay and getting a release date, September 23rd, 2025, which is interesting because, of course, their parent company is also the parent company behind Grand Theft Auto 6. So maybe that gives us a little bit more of an inkling of where Grand Theft Auto 6 might land in the fall, if that actually happens. Also, Lies of P Overture. This is the first post-launch big DLC for Lies of P. This is coming summer 2025. And it looks awesome. I loved Lies of P, so this is cool. We also got to look at Mind's Eye. This is
I want to play this
game by Build a Rocket Boy and Leslie Benzies, one of the people at Rockstar North behind the Grand Theft Auto games. Many years ago, of course, he left in a big departure to make his own thing. It was called Everywhere. That's still a thing. It's kind of like a platform, but this right here looks like just a regular old traditional third-person cinematic action game, which is a type of game I really like. Give me a third-person game where you're running around as a cool guy, shooting stuff and blowing stuff up and driving cars, and I'm in. I'm easy. So hopefully this actually turns out to be cool. There's a lot, like I said, I couldn't fit in here, but one of the things that made a big splash is Tales of Annihilation. This is like a big, weird action adventure combat game that at first
this actually looked good too,
like Stellar Blade, where you're like a hot girl in a destroyed land. But this looks way more over the top and has a lot of variety and more Devil May Cry style combat.
Yeah.
I'm really into this.
I thought,
also,
he said Devil May Cry. When I first watched it, I said Final Fantasy 16. Because how they were fighting in Final Fantasy 16 was kind of like how some of those bosses were fighting.
And out of the other big stuff, Saros. This is a first-party PlayStation game. This was kind of like their grand finale. This is from Housemarque, the people behind Returnal. This is their next big game. It's called Saros. It's starring actor Rahul Kohli. They said specifically it's a single-player IP building off of Returnal. Like, they really liked what they did with Returnal, and they're doing more of that. But also, from this trailer, judging,
I never played
like
Returnal.
Also doubling down on storytelling, which is cool. Don't know too much more about it other than that it's probably going to be a big PlayStation exclusive, and we're going to hear more because apparently some gameplay stuff is coming later this year. Next up, some things you should check out. Civ 7 technically released this week. So we did the
I've seen a couple of people streaming this
with our buddy Eric
earlier today. It looks really good. This might, if I was to try a Civ game, I never try any of them because I don't like RTSs.
You really got to be.
But if I was to ever want to try one, it would be this one.
Gameplay variant that is the game. It's way too complicated to explain here, but yeah, Civ 7, interesting. I would say definitely watch our video and read a couple of other reviews to see if it's right for you. And I think the same goes for Avowed, which
shout out to Stop Me Smee. He was playing
last week. This is Obsidian's next big thing. It's their first big thing with Xbox, and unfortunately, I found it kind of disappointing. I think the combat and the world was really, really cool. But with RPGs like this, for me, it comes down to like the characters and the story, and it didn't really grip me there. So it's not an all-out disaster or anything like that. People think I'm like wishy-washy about it, and to be honest, I am. I don't really recommend it to everybody, but really, it's too complicated to just distill into one sentence. I can't just say game sucks, game good. So if you want to check that out, that's linked down below.
What's your New Year's resolutions if you have one? I got 3, and they're all related around my streaming.
4 through 6 remastered. This has one of my goats.
It's not going to destroy me or break me if I don't reach these goals.
Glory.
But
1 through 3 remastered.
I wanted 1,000 followers on Twitch.
If you're looking for Elden Ring Night Rain details, I also link that in the description down below. There's been a lot of previews with press and stuff like that.
And what was the third one?
Technical tests. Dark Souls
like my first sponsor.
A lot of interesting stuff is coming out around that. And of course, I'm not like the Elden
Ring. Well, I got all year
to
to try to reach all 3 of those goals.
I'll leave it to the pros. But also, last but not least, there might be a new Back to the Future game coming.
I don't think it's too late.
This kind of flew by in the headlines because the bigger headline was really an interview with Bob Gale, one of the creators of Back to the Future, the guy that wrote it.
But those are all the ones I got for this year.
Saying, once again, when people ask him to do a new Back to the Future movie, he tells
probably
them
like
to
lose
go
weight or something like
themselves. That was really the big headline. But what people missed there is that he mentioned that there is a new game in the works. When he was asked about like what's actually next for the Back to the Future franchise, he said, "We've got a shot at a new video game based on Back to the Future. I don't want to tell you any more than that because I'm not allowed to, but this is something that I've wanted to do for a long time."
Yeah, I see the frame drop thing. It keeps happening. I don't know why it keeps happening.
Anniversary of the original movie. So that's cool. I wonder what
If
that
it
could
gets
mean.
super
Could it be a
bad, then I'm gonna have
full-fledged
to
ass Back
like
to the Future game? We
restart
got
the
a Telltale
stream.
one back in the day that had some
And
interesting ideas, or is this just going to be some mobile game NFT
wait,
bullshit?
hold on. Yeah,
There's
it's
a
starting
lot
to
of
get
that
really
around the
bad.
Back to the Future world, but more specifically the
Hold on.
DeLorean car world. I'm sorry, I'm not going to get into like the DeLorean car lore. I'm a big fan of the car itself more than the movie, but anyway, I digress. I got my DeLorean mention in. That's a Friday show, so let me know what you think about the stories we talked about. The state of play, of course. If you got a grade for the presentation, let me know. I know a lot of people were waiting for like Ghosts of Yotei or, Wolverine details, but yeah, let me know what you thought about what was